In SED 514, we have people that are teaching a variety of different disciplines. Some are teaching the sciences like physics, chemistry, biology, earth and space science. Some are teaching mathematics, computer science, engineering courses. Some are teaching the arts, music, English, language arts, foreign languages, physical education, just a variety of different subjects. But for this course, we want you to be able to work with people who are teaching similar things, because they'll be the best to be able to edit your work and to critique your work. And so towards this goal, we're going to work on a collaborative, you might say, seating chart by discipline. So go ahead and click on the colleagues link over here. Click on the colleagues link. And on the colleagues link here, you're going to find down here a link here to teaching disciplines. So go ahead and click on the teaching disciplines link is right here, and this is a collaborative slideshow. So this is basically a Google presentation or Google slideshow. And because you have your Gmail address, you can log on to this and you can edit this and you can create these yourself. It's one of the myriad of different products that Google provides free of charge. So what I've done is I've set up a slideshow here with different pages. So the first one right here is for the sciences, English language, foreign languages, and so forth. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to choose your particular discipline. So if you're mathematics or maybe computer science, you're going to put your picture on this page. And so scroll through to see what fits you best. And other would be, just that, other. So let me just go ahead and illustrate right here. So here is the science. I teach sciences. I've been teaching sciences for many, many years. So I'm going to enter a picture here. Now on the Google slideshow, there's a little object up here which says insert image. If you pull that down, you can see that there are a variety of different ways you can put in pictures. You can upload from the computer, etc. So when you search from the web, that would be if you're going to try to find some content out there which somebody else has posted. And unless you're famous and you have pictures all over the web, that's probably not the best place to search. So if you have something on your computer, then you could just say upload from computer, and then you're going to go and find this. Let's say I click on upload from computer, and I'm going to go to my drive here, and I'm going to say, okay, that there is a picture of me. I'll click on that, and we can see that if that was me, that would be way too large of a picture. So I would then shrink it down into the appropriate size and pop it up there. So let's say I go to another page here, and I want to put in a picture. Another way you can do is you can drag and drop. So in this case, I'm going to drag something from my desktop, and I'm simply going to just drag it right there. Okay, once again, it's too large, so I'm going to drag from the corner, and then I'm going to make it a more reasonable size. Now, if I drag from the corner of any kind of graphic, as long as I'm holding the Shift key down, it's going to resize things and keeping the same aspect ratio. However, if I drag from one side or the other, you're going to get these really wonky looking images. And so the way to avoid that is to drag from the corner, hold the Shift key down while you're dragging, and then you can resize things, and the aspect ratio, in other words, the horizontal to vertical dimensions, will remain unchanged. Another way to get photos in is, again, click on the insert image one right here, and then go to your Google photo album. So if you have your photos backed up onto Google Photos, then you're going to just click over there, and I'll put a picture of my grandson right there. It looks good. So I will take that and insert that. And so that would be just off of my Google Photos. And so if you are not backing up your photographs and all your contacts and so forth to a service, I strongly suggest you do so. The two best ones are iCloud, if you have an iPhone, or simply Google Photos, Google Images, Google Drive, all the Google resources if you have an Android. You can also back them up to both locations. I do that myself. That's why you're picking up this one here, even though I have an iPhone, I'm picking it up off of Google. So I have things backed up into the cloud from both in iCloud for the Apple as well as Google for, just as a backup. So I have two backups in the cloud. All right, so that would be yet another way to insert your images. Another way to insert photos is, again, go to the Insert Image and then search in your Google Drive. So if you've purposely put something into a folder on Google Drive, you can do it this way. And you'll see all of the imagery and so forth from your Google Drive appearing there. So let's say I click on this one right here, which is an infrared image right there. I have an infrared adapter for my camera, and obviously not the most flattering image, but that would be another way to insert photos if you have something saved onto your Google Drive. Finally, another way to do it is just to take a photo. So if I can click up here and I'm going to say I'd like to use my camera. And if you have a laptop, most of your laptops are going to have a camera built right into the frame. A lot of desktop models have this as well, and you just have to allow that access. Go ahead and click on the camera icon, and you're going to want to know where the camera is. Like I'm using an iMac here, and my camera's way at the top on the screen, and I have a very large screen, so that's why sometimes you see me looking down because I'm looking at something else. But I'm going to look at it right now, take a picture, and then when you get one you like, just say, you know what, I think I like this one. Actually, I don't like any of them. And I'll just put one in there just just to show. So I'll just say if I want that one in there. So there's another photo. So again, those are 5 different ways to insert photos. I'd like you to practice a variety of those ways so that you feel confident that you can put imagery into your website or into any kind of document at any time from any source. So again, those are 5 different ways that we've talked about right there. Using the insert image icon. You click on this, and we did upload from computer, search the drive, photos, and camera. If you happen to know the URL of a photo, you can paste it in there. And also, if you have something something on the web, you can do it there as well. So let's say I want to put in here something from physical education. Let's say I want to have some kind of famous athlete. And so let's go ahead and click on the insert image right here. And let's say I wanted to choose now from search the web. So I could now, you'll see that the imagery and so forth is available right there. And so let's say I wanted to look at, let's say, a famous player like Hank Aaron. There's Hank Aaron. Click on Hank Aaron. And so here's a picture when he was with the Braves. I'll just go ahead and click that. And now I've put Hank Aaron in there. Now, again, this is for imagery if that you know that something is indexed on the web. So again, that provides just yet another option. Finally, if you have a URL already established and you know where it is, you can do that as well. So that would just be pasting the URL in. So finally, if you wanted to insert something solely from the URL, let's say I want to get a picture of the Earthrise here, I would go to my image search or to a web page. In a case like this, I'm going to look at this and say I'd like to look at this image right here. The actual URL for that image is going to be, I'll say open image in new tab. And then if I just go over there and I say I'd like to. So once you've imported your images onto the appropriate discipline page, you can crop the images. If you double click on an image, you will see that these black angle arms appear here, and you can crop. So this time if I drag from the side, notice it just eliminates the portion of the picture there. And then if I press enter or return, it'll just shrink the picture down. Again, if you Alt-Z or Command-Z or Control-Z and so forth, you can undo it and go right back to the original image. So it's important that if we have a number of people on the same page, that we have sufficient room. And again, the room can be achieved by cropping, which means basically cutting out unnecessary stuff. Or if I click outside, I can click and I can do a shift click and drag from the corner and resize the image appropriately. Okay, next thing you want to do is you want to add your name to that. And to do that, you're going to click on the text box tool here. So you're going to click on the text box, and then you're going to click somewhere below your name. And so let's say I put here Norm Hare, and then the subject that I teach, okay? Within the sciences, I'll be saying, let's say physics and chemistry, etc. Okay, actually I teach all of them, but I teach how to teach all of them. And so now there's extra space here, so we can just shrink this down to there. And now this is going to be associated with that picture. If I drag it up there, those two pictures are now, the picture and the text are associated with each other. I should say, or just next to each other. But to link them together, if I click on the text and then I shift click here on the image, now I get a box around both the text as well as the image. And now what I can do is I can go up to the arrange feature, and on the range I can group them. So now when I group them, they travel together. Okay, so wherever I drag that, it travels together. And then I can also shrink from the corner, again, diagonal like that, and the text still stays there. So you'll see that now this is going to continue to move around so that the text stays with the image when you do it that way. And so we can know exactly you know, whose name is associated with which picture. If for some reason I want to unlink the two images, I can click on right here and then go back to arrange, and I will ungroup them. And now when I grab on the text, you'll see that the text can move independently. This might be useful if you're just trying to resize things, because I can resize the graphic here, but it was not resizing the text. So let's say I want to make this smaller to allow enough space for everybody who is teaching the sciences to put their pictures up here. Now I can click on this, and now I want to make that whole section smaller. So what I can do is, here's my font size. I can keep shrinking my font size down now, and then I'll just re-shrink this, shrink that there. And now if I once again hold down the shift key, well, the text is highlighted, as well as now clicking on the image. Now we can see that the selected area includes both the text and the image. I go up to arrange, and I'd like to group that. And once again, the advantage of that is now I can drag this wherever I want to, and my name is going to stay with that. Now, this is pretty characteristic of all your image editing resources out there. So the material you're learning here is going to be relevant for everything you do, not only in this program, but later on in various applications. So what I'd like you to do is to put your photos and your name associated with those photos on the appropriate pages. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody grouped by their discipline.